Go ahead.
Good evening, everybody. Are we? Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Cool. Um, this is really gonna bug me.
Diana didn't do the countdown. She didn't.
No, she didn't.
Yeah,
It
I wasn't ready.
Sorry.
She's so good at countdown.
Yeah.
True.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another fun-filled adventure of horror and terror in the Old West.
Sometimes in chat too. Just
Yeah, just a little personal horror here in chat,
fuck you guys.
here or there. We are coming at you live from
A lot of places.
all over really. Let's do a quick round the table. Introduce yourself and your character. Let's start with Mason.
Hey everybody, my name's Mason Dula. Tonight I'm playing sheriff, sort of. I don't know. I'm not really very sheriffy anymore since I'm not in a town so much.
We're also not sure if the town is still like.
Yeah, if the
good.
town might not even be standing now that I think about it. But I'm playing Dallas Rex, and now that I and my apparently true love, who I've fallen in love with in the past 2 or 3
Wait,
days,
hold on.
have been swept up into a Cthulhu-related mess. Anyways, it's gonna be a good time. But yeah, I don't have too much more intro. It's just it's gotten a mess.
It's been a wild couple days.
Yeah. It has.
And we'll travel down to Diana.
Hey, I'm still Diana. I am Miss Maybelle Monroe this evening. The youngest member of our party, probably also the most annoying member of our party. But here I am.
And across to Miss Emily.
Hi, I am Emily.
Pointed the wrong way. Let's go that way.
Listen, I was willing to just cover for you, but
I'm not.
let's see. I'm playing Miss Molly Magnesium Monroe, called by her friends and loved ones Mags. Loves long walks on the beach, dynamite,
And getting married.
and hates the concept of marrying a man.
And hanging ex-boyfriends from
Independence.
trees.
All I
Oh,
know is,
too soon.
all I know
Poor
is,
Louis.
I don't know what you're talking about. No one's hung from a tree.
No one knows about that,
That
but
I
you.
know. Listen, I spent
saw
all
him.
of last episode completely unconscious, and I'm sure nothing untoward happened to me.
Your sister definitely
lay a
didn't
finger
rack
on
your
you.
head on the bottom of a train or anything. And last but certainly not least, up to Mr. Ulrich Wolf.
That's correct. I am Ulrich Wolf, U.S. licensed bounty hunter. Came to Good Springs and, I've been wrapped up in this ungodly mess.
Yeah. Look, all he did was come to town looking for a bounty, and honestly, he's feeling pretty attacked right now. And I am your storyteller this evening, and I'm here to just, the best part about this cast is that I can just kind of like wind them up just a little bit, and they just go, and it's a lot of fun to watch. But the last couple episodes, I've had a little bit more machinations going on, and we last met our investigators when they essentially what amounted to is train robbery. They assaulted a train of the Union Pacific Railroad.
The train hit first.
Technically true.
That is true. It blasted the dynamite out of the way, and a decent sized battle ensued with some dynamite and a Gatling gun or two, some wholesale murder and death, and some horrific images that may or may not continue to haunt our investigators for years and years to come. When we left last, our team had found a note, apparently written by some snaky cult thing that they haven't quite figured out yet. But it directed the original owner of the note to a inn in Cheyenne, and it also referenced a different path, the northern route that it is now conceivably. Wait, it is now conceivable. It is conceivable now. I don't know. That's where everybody thinks that potentially the cargo of this train actually went, which is a relic of some import that may or may not help to seal a ley line from the Atlantic coast to the Pacific coast and rip a hole in the fabric of the universe and bring forth outer beings that are going to consume and enslave mankind.
You know,
The
I called it
usual.
many things, but the golden spike, I've never called it that.
Um, so when we last left, it was decided that the remnants of the Boone Gang, who have suffered some casualties in recent times, are going to head to Cheyenne in order to attempt to surveil the Coiled Serpent, which is the name of the inn that they were directed to, if I am not mistaken. The Rattlesnake's Coil. Sorry, I was way off. And it was decided that our intrepid adventurers would be heading north to find this northern route and attempt to discover if there was anything being shipped down it. We're going to head back to the train because Miss Mags here is unconscious, and as everybody's sort of gathering themselves and preparing to head back to the Boone Gang hideout, she begins to come back to consciousness.
Mags?
Mm.
Can you hear
What
me?
happened? Yeah. Wait. I don't want to. Like me.
That's kind of rude. I'll grab like a cloth or something. The one that I had with the water that I stole from the other guy who was helping the hurt folks. And I'll sort of like just take the cloth and press it to her forehead.
Is he still here?
Is who still here, hon?
I try to sit up and look around and take in my surroundings.
So as you sit up, you are sitting in your sister's lap, and you see a crowd of folks around the backside of this train car, the last armored car in the line. If you recall, there was the engine and then the armored car that nobody had made it to yet. And standing on the steps and around near you are the sheriff, Ulrich, the medicine man, Hatoke, and Mr. Boone and his wife. Laying next to you, there is a body that's not moving with a jacket over the head. And one of the other two gentlemen is caring for another member of their party who has blood streaks all down his face.
Take it easy now.
What happened?
I don't really know. All of a sudden, we were up by the armored car, and then I heard a voice, and I saw terrible things, Max. It happened to all of us. We all saw terrible things.
What did you see?
It's not important. It's not important. You're here now, so but it wasn't real. So you can relax. Everything's safe right now.
Why does my head feel like it weighs 1,000 pounds?
You took a little bit of a tossle. I didn't mean to. I was trying to pull you under the train to keep you safe, and I hit your head.
On a train.
What are you laughing for? I didn't hit you that hard. You stop that.
Oh, Bailey. I mean, you took me out with the train. That's pretty impressive. I'm just so happy it's not real. I can't. You could have hit me over the head with the train itself, and I would have been so happy to see you.
Ooh. Now that you've had the good news, I suppose it's time for the bad news. You know how we were supposed to find that magic spike?
Mm-hmm.
The train was a decoy. It's not here. But we might know where it is, and we might still be able to stop it from getting into the wrong hands.
Well, what was all this for?
Mighty fine question. But at least we've gotten ourselves a bit of information as to where we should head next.
So what are we waiting for?
Well, you aren't in great shape, Matt. You're still bleeding a little bit. You should rest.
We don't have time. I'll be fine.
We have time to let you stop bleeding. Let Hatoke take a look at you, and we'll get there.
I think that it is time that this is going to attract some attention, and Mr. Boone is going to look over at Ulrich. We have a bit of a reputation, as you know. So I do suggest that we gather our things and our wounded and dead and head back. You all need a rest. It's been a tumultuous couple days. I feel you could benefit greatly from it. I do
Dad?
think that we should perhaps see if there's anything else in this area that could lend us a clue or two, though.
What other cars were on this train?
So there is the caboose that, if you recall, was much more richly appointed than you would generally see in a caboose. There was the passenger car that really took a beating from the guns up on the hilltop. Then there were the two armored cars. One you all threw dynamite in and blew up pretty handily. And then the other one was relatively unscathed, since you did not detonate the case full of dynamite that was in that one. And then the engine that was pretty well jacked up from mags throwing dynamite at it.
Well, if we're looking to take a peek down at the train, I'd say the only thing left is probably the head armored car and the caboose. I don't imagine there'd be much in the surrounding land that could give us anything, unless one of them took off. Didn't see any.
I don't believe we saw any survivors escape.
Well, might as well go take a look then. Faster we get done here, the faster we can get to a safer place, yeah?
Certainly, yes. Certainly.
Guess I'm gonna head off and I'm gonna start car by car, just start at the back one and kind of move my way up.
Okay. Back being the caboose.
Mm-hmm.
Better check out that caboose.
What?
Of course you do.
As you re-enter the caboose, it's relatively unscathed from the unscathed caboose. From the
Pristine.
the danger and lead that was flying around. If you recall, A lot of the filigree and adornments on various things were in the shape of various snakes. The curtains were being held back by brass snakes. Wow, good. And there was a desk and a bed, and not much else because it is a train, but it is more, like I said, elaborate than you would generally expect. A caboose is most often where the engineers, the folks that keep the train running sleep in their downtime. But this one looks like it was definitely kitted out for a more richly purpose.
Well, there's no immediate danger, so I'm just gonna top to bottom just start tearing everything apart. And if there's anything valuable that I want to keep, I'm gonna take
Okay.
that too.
Is everybody participating in this here,
Yeah.
Crash?
I mean, if I can get up and.
Yeah, you're a little woozy, and you definitely have a knot on your head, but you're okay. You don't think you have any internal bleeding in your skull that's gradually putting pressure on your brain that may or may not make you see things later.
Now, why
Makes
would you
sense.
go and say a thing like that?
I don't know.
Just to
Set
be
in the
super
mood.
sure that
Just-
you know that
yeah.
Because
that's
he's
not
a
a thing
rude
that's
ass
happening.
bitch. That's why.
Just to be poignant.
Very thorough, DM.
Thorough.
I'm gonna
He's a
helicopter.
good man and thorough.
I'm gonna helicopter mom the shit out of Mags. I'm not really checking out the car so much as I'm making sure that she doesn't keel over.
Okay. Why don't you give me a first aid check, and everybody else give me a spot hidden.
Shit.
That is a epic success.
Okay.
Woo!
15 first roll of the night.
Hey, look at that.
I was feeling real excited when I saw some zeros until I saw that it was all zeros, so that was a
Ah.
critical failure.
Oh, he fumbled.
Oh.
Shit. Okay. All right.
Good thing I got other people looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
you
this
don't.
is-
I failed. I
this-
failed.
Lol. There's a train. All right.
Yeah, it's train.
My head hurts.
It makes
Hmm.
sense for you, Belly, or Mags.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. How'd you roll on your first aid there?
Well, based on my roll, I can tell that she got hit on the head because I was there,
Yes.
and that's about
Yep.
it.
You know what? We're off to a root and toot and start here. So, Mags, you're a little woozy still. You look around and you kind of move a curtain or two, but you're just feeling a little. It just feels like everything's fuzzy. And Belly just won't leave you alone. She's getting all up in your space, and you're trying to look around. And you just. Sheriff Rex, would it be correct to say that you're a little upset, just in general, maybe
It
a little?
is. And
yeah, a
thinking
little
of that, may I
angered.
push my roll by literally tearing things apart?
You know what? Yeah, that sounds great.
I'm gonna
So you
literally
just start
like tearing apart
ripping curtains
cushions,
down and
tearing paneling off the walls, stuff like that.
okay,
Let's-
yeah. While he's wrecking shit, Ulrich, you go through a methodical search. You know, you've done things like this before, and now everybody's kind of keyed into this whole secret passage thing too, right? You had the secret panel in the Mr. Monroe's desk and the bookshelf sliding away. So you're definitely pawing around looking for that. And as you start to go through the desk, you open the first drawer, and right there in front, not hidden at all, is it's a bag, and when you open it up, it's full of gold dust. And there's actually a sizable nugget in there, about the size of your thumb. It's not an insignificant fortune that you just stumbled upon.
Hard success on my
Okay.
second one.
Tie that up and just stuff it away.
Yeah, there's no reason to tell everybody about this gold dust you just discovered.
Snort it. It's good for you.
Yeah.
That's what the ballers do in the Old West.
Oh.
Snort a line of gold dust.
And that's
What?
why the average life expectancy was like 10.
Yeah, it wasn't good for
I
you.
can see the smells now.
And as you're feeling around, you do feel a little bit of a catch on one of the rondels on the edge of this desk. It's a coiled serpent, very much like the ones that you had seen previously on the coin. And as your hand slides across it, it feels like it moves just a little bit. And so you give it a little bit of pressure and you hear a click. And as you look around for it, you go back through the drawers and you find that one of the drawers that you'd already inspected, and it had some parchment and things of that nature, actually had a false bottom that had come loose. And when you slide that open, you find 3 little eggs, they kind of look like. I will tell you a description. So they're little opaque egg-shaped items. About 2 inches long, and they just have a bluish shimmer on one side.
It can't, so wait, just to be super clear, you're saying that they're a different color on one side than the other?
They just there's just a circular bluish stain almost on one side. It looks almost like when you take a drop of ink and it lands in water and just kind of spreads out that blue as it spreads across one side.
Okay. Well, almost like kind of like this, the nice smooth, like when you like in a marble where it's kind of got that.
Yeah, but it's
water drop,
circular,
yeah.
and it's only on one side of the little egg there.
Who all can see these?
Right now, only Mr. Wolf. You're currently tearing cushions and ripping curtains and things of that nature.
Gotcha. Okay.
Oh, I discovered this.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, that was in where the secret catch was.
Ah, okay.
That was me vamping for time for you to figure out a response. I thought you did.
I was waiting for you. I thought you found it. I almost asked, how did he find this in the desk that I'm currently searching?
Wow.
Sorry. Interesting. How many? You said 3?
Yep.
I'm gonna pick one up. Hey, Sheriff, when you're done tearing the place apart, come look at this.
Do I find anything tearing it apart? Because I'm
Yep,
rather
yep.
enjoying it.
You're enjoying the shit out of it. You know, there's a little bit of catharsis to this, as the last hour or so of pretty fierce combat and the mental psychic attack that you suffered is sort of coming out, and you're ripping throw pillows apart. You flipped this mattress off, and you took your boot knife and just ran it from one end to the other, ripping out stuffing. You hear the sound of a coin hitting the floor, that distinctive ring when you flip the mattress off, and you find another one of those coins that was sewn into the jacket of our late Nathaniel Caldwell.
Gotcha.
And you also find, when you cut into the pillows, you find another one of those pouches, similar to the one that you found on the medicine man that fell to ash. It has very similar beadwork on it, and it doesn't look so much that it was like hidden in there, but when you rip the pillows out, you find it goes flying as well,
Gotcha. Okay.
and you pocket that away.
Okay. Cool. Yep. 1 second as I'm gonna pocket those things for now. What do you got, Ulrich?
It'd be some form of ornate stone. They're solid and cool like stone, right? Or does it feel like an egg?
No, it doesn't feel organic.
Okay. Well,
Would appraise or archaeology apply to this? If I was trying to identify what these are.
Try archaeology.
Okay.
I had
Appraise isn't
remember
gonna do much
seeing
here.
some bit of jade egg made by the Chinese, but I know nothing of this sort of thing.
From afar, I can't see it. I would like to. 'Cause that's a 97.
Oof. That's you.
You
Wow.
know what? I'm feeling like pushing my roll tonight. What can I do that's going to endanger this potentially valuable artifact? That
In your sort of, have you touched him yet, Ulrich?
Yeah, I picked one up to look at it.
Okay. In your current mood, Sheriff,
Mhm.
uh, you know, you kind of just you throw the pillow that was in your hand down and you stomp across the train and snatch it out of his hand
Yeah.
to take a closer look.
Let me see.
I think eyes are better than fists, Sheriff.
We'll see about that. Oh no! I'm one away from hard success. I'll just go.
You
with
got
it.
the luck.
I got. I know. I gotta save my luck. I'm running low on it, man.
So, you where did you pick up archaeology? Did you go to school for it, or is this more
It's
hard-won knowledge?
It was more. Yeah. It's a combination of being a sheriff in a town that's relatively safe and being able to read, and then the like just a general interest in the hobby. So whenever I would see people, like either trading with some of the Native Americans or like other people that came through, even other snake oil salesmen, like stuff like that. Just I kind of got comfortable handling bits and bobs and general history stuff.
Okay. So as you stomp across this small train with 5 people or 4 people stuffed in it, and you just snatch it out of his hand, and you take a closer look, and as you snatch it, the light reflects off it just a little bit, and where that bluish circle is, you see a very thin line around it, just outlining that bluish area. And as you're looking at it, you think, it doesn't, even with a hard success, it doesn't look like anything that you have personally seen before. But you think back and you remember a rumor of some crazy guy. He came down from the hills, and there was no other explanation than he'd spent too much time out in the wilds. And you've seen this plenty of times, but he was ranting and raving about scaly skinned people that came into his camp at night and stole blood from him, and he said that they carried stones, basically, that they pointed at him and threatened him with. And at the time, you obviously wrote it off as wild raving lunatic, but now you've actually witnessed some scaly skinned folks, and maybe it doesn't seem so far-fetched anymore.
Can I, if I kind of like, I'm just kind of like gonna gently kind of probe and inspect it, seeing if there's any part. I mean, it seems perfectly smooth, right?
Mm-hmm.
I must still
for
see
that-
if there's
That
any
thin
little
line around
see where that
the
thin
blue
line is. I'm gonna
spot.
see if I can just gently like see if it unscrews or anything.
When you go to do that, it depresses underneath your thumb, and you hear a click, and it starts ticking. No, I'm kidding. No, but as it does, nothing happens for a few seconds. As what's everybody else doing while he's inspecting this stone? Have you all stopped to look? I know Ulrich probably is.
Maybell is probably like, she keeps trying to like gently guide Mags over to like a chair to sit in, or like over to a couch, or like like she keeps trying to get her to sit down and stay put instead of digging and stuff.
Yeah, I'm on the other side of that, like trying desperately to look around, but being tended to too much to actually get anything done.
Okay, so as you all are rooting around, and Sheriff and Ulrich are messing with this egg, everybody hears kind of like after 3 seconds, 5 seconds of nothing, you almost hear like a snap, and you smell a smell the smell that comes right before the rain,
Mhm.
that ozone kind of smell.
Petrichor.
Yeah, petrichor. And this hazy aura snaps into existence around you, Sheriff. And there's just a very, very slight electrical, well, you don't know what that means, just a slight humming in the air.
How big of a space is this filling right now?
Just kind of around your body.
I'm gonna I'm gonna see if I can put it down on the desk and see if anything changes.
So as you set it down on the desk, the field sort of shifts out. So it is surrounding this egg in a dome about human size.
I'm gonna pick it back up and see if there's a way I can undo what I've just done.
You fiddle around with it, but that bluish area remains depressed, and no adverse effects. And after about 30 seconds, it snaps again and it's gone.
Like the whole thing disappears?
No, the field disappears, and the egg that was previously white with that bluish spot just goes gray, and the blue spot sort of comes slowly back out.
I don't know any better. I'm gonna push it again and see what see if anything happens.
It clicks and nothing happens.
Well, I don't know what to make of that. Perhaps we should have asked Mr. Magic Man outside.
Well, it's a good thing we've got 2 more.
I'd say so.
Perhaps just stow them away for now. I still have more questions for these people.
Sounds good to me, and I'm gonna keep tearing the train apart.
All right.
You don't find
Come away.
anything else in this car.
Okay.
It's
May
yes,
I,
Billy.
May I ask, how violent is this search that the sheriff is doing?
Sheriff.
I mean, it depends on how you define violence, I guess, because like I am literally cutting apart the cushions, kind of looking inside and just tossing them. I'm not like
I mean, is
Oh.
it obviously fueled by sort of a frustration where you're
roll a perception check. No, I think it's I think it's more of a need for wanting to get out of here and efficiency in getting it done. Like
Okay.
just like this kind of like feeling of unease and just trying to like get through it.
okay?
Yeah. I guess if that's it in that car, I guess I'm gonna keep on moving up.
Okay. Now, real quick before we move on, a train car's not very big. Do Mags and Maybell react to this weird aura that pops up and then disappears? I'm not gonna make you roll for it because it's. I mean, it's there. If you want to notice it, you absolutely could.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would notice it. But I'm like, man, this head injury really is making me see things. What was that?
It's been a weird day.
Well, okay, so I probably saw it, recognized that it was Mr. Wolf who found it and is like the source of strange object. And knowing that he doesn't exactly think Mags and I are super useful in this party, I would probably still just continue to tend to Mags and try and focus on her and get her to chill out and heal.
Okay. Proceed.
So
So there's the car with the dead lizard folk all in it, and then there's the one you blew up, and there's the one that had the chest in it.
I guess I'm gonna just go to the. I mean, I don't know which car's next. I feel like it's dead lizard people.
Yep.
I'm gonna start there, and I'd like to just kind of not only look through the car, but also just kind of pick through their clothing because I'm interested in these weird coins that seem to be sewn into into things.
Yeah. Everybody else?
I'm skipping to the last car.
Okay. Mags,
Split up.
Maybell.
Might as well.
Cover more ground.
Now I'm feeling a little lost. What do you want to do, sister?
Well, if Mags tries to go into the dead lizard people car, Maybell's gonna try and stop her because she hasn't seen them yet, right?
No,
she
she
doesn't
hasn't.
know
That's a good
that
point.
was a thing that happened. So I'll probably just try and be like, yeah, maybe we should go and sit down and get a little water and let you just. The men can handle it. It'll be fine.
Some say something about a dead lizard car.
We can talk about it later.
I want to walk in the direction of the
Mags,
dead lizard
these
car.
dead lizards are heavy. Can you help me move them?
Absolutely.
I'll just sort of like throw up my hands and follow.
Well, I mean, I don't know. She doesn't. I mean, I don't know what she saw.
So you're not gonna physically try and stop her?
I'm not that stupid.
Okay, all right, yeah, no, that's fine. Mags, as you enter this train car, the sheriff is kind of rifling through some bodies, and as he steps out of the way, you see that this is a car full of they're all dead. There's lots of blood lying around, and there are a dozen. I can't remember how many you said. We're gonna say a dozen corpses, and they have reptilian features. They've got arms and legs like a human, but their skin is green to grayish blue and scaly. They've got elongated snouts, and of the eyes that you can see, they're yellow and vertical slit pupils. And roll me a sanity check with advantage because you've seen some weird shit lately, and I don't know how much this is actually going to bother you.
Advantage. Okay, so I'm fine.
You're fine.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. This is all fine.
What are these? What are these?
I don't know. Some sort of lizard people.
Sheriff, did Ulrich tell you that they all had Nathaniel Caldwell's face previously?
You said they were like, they were like in the middle of changing or something, and I saw that his face was. Yeah, I do recall that being a detail that I knew. Yeah.
Okay. Do you share?
I don't
that
know
with...
that she. I don't. I'll maybe later. Not right now.
Okay.
One crazy thing at a time.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, they're lizard people, and also they can change shape and look like the guy that we murdered. Like, I'm gonna hold off on that for like a minute.
Might be a little too much.
Yeah.
If I walk into the car and see the sheriff rifling through bodies, I know that I was in this car briefly before. I don't know how much of that was absorbed, and I'm still super not like real chill with death in general. So I'll probably sort of just excuse myself and step off the train and go to tend to the wounded.
Okay. By this time, Gray Dawson and Tad, our local firebug, have gathered up the horses and have brought them around, and they're loading up the wounded and the dead onto the horses. Sheriff, roll me a spot hidden. Mags, are you helping him?
Yeah.
Roll me a spot hidden.
Me, man. 93. What is wrong? I've got 100, 97, and 93.
Those
think you
dice
gotta
were
say the
clearly
thing.
supposed to be me. For
think you
me,
gotta
they
say
were
the
Diana
thing.
dice.
Which thing?
You know what? Let's just see if don't fuck me go. Nope, 99.
Wow. They just really don't like you
It's
tonight.
not my night.
No. How'd you do? How'd you do, Mags?
I failed.
Failed. Okay. Well, you're rifling around in these lizard folks' clothes and looking around. what's not hard to find is each of them have what you would normally think as an ammo belt, Sheriff, around their waist, and I think you all looted their guns previously,
Yes.
and they do have some bullets that would have gone to those guns, but each one has in their waist belts where a cartridge would be is a small vial. And in said vial, there's a brownish liquid. A reddish brown, and it's got sort of a, as you tilt the vial, it's got sort of a sludgy texture to it, and it's a glass vial with a cork in the top. Some of them have been smashed, but if you check all 12 bottles, you're able to find 4 of them.
The ones that have been smashed, like, do they smell like anything?
It's got that iron tang that you associate with blood, but it's not blood.
Okay.
It's got the brownish color of dried blood, but it's still liquid.
And then they're not like the lizard folk we shot aren't bleeding that, right?
No.
Okay.
They've got kind of a grayish greenish.
I'm not investigating anything further because I have a medicine man that hopefully knows better than me.
Don't want to taste it? Go on, taste it.
And Mags, you want to taste it? I'm just kidding. Don't touch this.
Do you need me to taste it?
No. Let's let Hotaka taste it first.
You sure?
I mean, you do what you want, but I think it's probably like.
I
I'm
taste
sure.
it.
Why? I'm gonna hand it to her. Why? It's like, you do it. So I really wouldn't, Mags. And then she just, okay.
Yep, I taste it.
See what happens when you leave her unattended, Mabel? Man.
She has a head injury. You should be ashamed of yourself.
She no longer has a head injury, right? Justice that healed her. Perfect, back to health. Like,
I feel amazing.
Taste this lizard blood.
Do you just taste it, or do you tilt it back and drink it?
I think it's a little like of a. Well,
It doesn't taste good. It definitely tastes like that iron taste of blood. And you take about just a little bit out of that vial, and it lands in your stomach, and it feels kind of fuzzy. I don't know how else to like your insides start itching.
Mags, I think maybe you probably should stop drinking that now.
I mean, I'm gonna stop drinking it, but not because you told me to.
You should stop drinking it because you look like a lizard person now.
What?
No, I'm just kidding. But really, let's stop before something crazy happens, okay?
That was pretty good.
Yeah. I'm glad to see your sense of humor still intact after the head injury.
I've been hit on the head a few times. Take a lot more than that. Still my sense of humor, but yeah, let's. I don't think I'm any closer to understanding what these things are. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, me either. Maybe we go see if Ulrich's found anything.
Speaking of, so Ulrich, you head up to the main car, and as you're getting up there, Logan and another gentleman that you've not been introduced to are pulling the Gatling gun that was mounted up out of the train car and loading it up on a horse with a lot of ammo that was with it.
Souvenir?
Well, it's quite a weapon of destruction, and I shan't leave it behind for someone else to find it, and it may come in handy.
Doing the same myself.
How was the search of the tail car? Find anything of value or note?
Yeah, I found one of these. I'm gonna pull out the grade egg.
He'll take it from you if you're offering. Are you offering?
Yeah.
This is very strange. I can't say that I've ever seen anything
myself
quite
either.
like this.
Rex done hit something on it. He was fiddling with it. Then this, I don't know how quite to describe it. It was a bit of a solid fog came around him.
I'll ask Hatoke when we have a moment and see if he is familiar with it. We also found something strange, and he's going to hold out. It's a crystal. It's about the size of his palm, and it's sort of a milky white. It's got sort of an opalescence to it when the light reflects off of it, with these dark blue striations running through it. It's about 3 to 4 inches, and then it's got a single longer bit jutting off of it. You know, like the little bulbs that they use to suck snot out of infants' noses?
Yeah.
Kind of looks like that, but it's made of a clear to milky crystal. We can't make heads or tails of it, but we also don't want to mess with it too much. This is all very strange. I'll have to consult my books when we get back to the accommodations.
Perhaps being the one so familiar with these unknowns, it should stay in your hands.
And he'll pocket it. And as you poke your head into the train car, it's empty now. You know, the case of dynamite's gone out. The Gatling gun is pulled out, and the ash of the deceased, the person that you saw wither away to nothing in front of your very eyes, has kind of been tracked all over the cabin without much regard for who they were or what they were.
Okay. So you're saying there's no furniture or anything else in here?
It was very utilitarian. It was sort of cleared out so that the gun crew had plenty of room to move around.
Well, I ain't got much on my person anyways. All right. I'll just step out.
So all the wounded are loaded up. The dead are thrown over one of the horses. Mary is mounted up, ready to roll as you all come back around the front. Mabel, you sort of helped get the last of the wounded up on their horses, and it looks like everybody's ready to ride out.
Do I see them hauling the Gatling gun over?
Yeah, it's a big old gun. It's not hard to miss. They've kind of dismantled parts of it, taken it off of its stand, and rolled it up and packed it on one of the horses.
Okay. I would like to, while I'm waiting on the others, inspect the mechanisms involved in actually creating that mount and the rapid fire. It's a crank motion, right? Like that's
Yep.
how. Okay. Yeah, I wanna keep just. I wanna learn about it.
Okay. Pocket that away. We'll come back to that. Anything anybody else wants to do before the train is left in your dust?
I mean, I guess I'll go check with Ulrich and see what he found. But otherwise, pretty well done here.
Yeah.
You find anything else interesting?
Not so much. Boone and his folk were already up in here. Took the Gatling gun off the top. Found some form of milky crystal. Nothing that'd fetch a fair price, but sizable. Figured he'd find out some information. I tossed him the egg that you had. Whatever had happened. And he doesn't know about the other two, but we'll see if he can inform us about it.
Yeah. I didn't
Mags.
find anything of interest in the other train, but you're more than welcome to look. I think I'm about searched out.
I think all I'm looking for now is a wash and a rest.
I hear you.
Mags, you're walking up behind the sheriff about this time, and that itching sensation continues to come out from your stomach. And as you approach Maybell, you feel like just a strange feeling come over you. And Maybell, when you look up, you see Nathaniel Caldwell walking towards you.
I'll probably just shriek and start scrambling backwards.
When she shrieks, what do you lads do?
Did the
Yeah.
clothes change too?
First one.
Oh, you know what? That's a good question. Let me read up on this here little thing real quick. No,
please don't kill my
it's
sister.
it's just her physical appearance. So she's still, and she was not too far off your heels there, Sheriff. But
Yeah.
as you all came back to the group, she's still wearing her apron and clothing that you've become accustomed to. But it is Nathaniel Caldwell's face marching right on Belly.
I almost said that earlier and just decided to go with Snake Person instead because I thought it would be funnier.
I'm pulling iron.
As I turn around, I'm gonna have my because she's just approaching like I assume like Mags does, so I'm gonna like. Huh.
That's my Nathaniel impression.
Does she still? Okay, so does she still have like a head wound and an injury?
No, all her physical features look just like Nathaniel Caldwell.
So I can't tell. Okay, cool.
Except for the clothes that she is wearing. By all other intents and purposes, this is Nathaniel Caldwell wearing your sister's clothes, walking
Yeah,
towards
I have drawn my weapon, but I don't see that she's being aggressive, so I'm just gonna kind of hold it there.
you. Yep. So, Mags, you're walking towards your group, and everybody just pulled iron on you.
Don't come any closer.
What is going on? Why are you screaming? What is happening?
Does she sound like him? That's what I want to know.
Normal physical characters and mass, but outwardly appears in the assumed form. Nope, she sounds like him too.
Don't
Oh, well, you better get on your knees right now before I blast you to Kingdom Come.
don't come any
Hold on,
closer.
We're back.
What? Belly, what in the name of...
How did
What
you
is
hear my
happening?
name? Where's my sister?
What are you wearing?
Do I see like a difference in my hands or anything?
Yep, when you look down at your hands, these are not your hands.
Sweet mother of... Oh. Alright, I'm gonna like look around frantically to see if there's like a reflective surface somewhere where I can see my face.
Roll me luck.
Would I let her just
I was
walk
gonna
away?
say if she makes a sudden
you know-
movement, I'm
I'm
gonna
not
throw.
moving. I'm just looking. I'm just casting a look around. Like, is there a reflective window? It's 95. No, that's... No. No reflective surfaces.
Yeah, you look around. The train is right next to you, but it's dust covered, and it doesn't look. I mean, you're standing next to the train car that got blowed up now, so it's not really best for
All right.
reflection.
I'm gonna
What's your
say
name?
it's me, Mags. Molly Monroe.
You are not my sister.
It is me, Belly. If it were not me, could I tell you about that time when we were 10 and you left your dress on the side of the lake when we went skinny dipping and the wind done picked it up and sent it off and you made me walk naked back to the house with you because you didn't want to do it alone.
Look. I've seen a lot of weird shit today, And someone's already been in my head once. I don't know who you are, but where is my sister?
When's the last time we seen Mags?
Just a minute ago, you
I think,
saw me.
I think
Remember-
Mrs. Mag, she was
Wait,
right behind me.
Sheriff,
if
we touched the lizard people. I drank the blood.
you did
Yeah.
what?
You
It
what?
was not good.
She drank a thing she shouldn't have.
Hold up.
I'll take.
You drank something.
I'm gonna take like 2 very cautious steps forward, and I'm gonna hold out my hands palm up, knowing that this was a game that May and Mags used to play as kids. What did you do?
I don't know. I had no idea that I changed until you reacted like that.
I'll start kind of like touching her face. Does it feel like she just took on a different appearance, or does it feel like she actually changed into Nathaniel Caldwell and now has like gross evil guy stubble and a
Permanent.
chiseled jaw?
Forever.
I
got
always
a
thought
brother
Caldwell had
now.
a weak jaw.
Think of this like a polyjuice potion.
That does not answer my question.
Yes, you touch it and it doesn't feel like Mags's face.
I'm gonna pull out the vials out. She decided to give one of these a taste.
What?
That explains it then. That was... How in the world...
What on
I'm not
earth does
even gonna
that
question it.
explain?
Are there any of these undamaged?
The vials? Yeah, I've got them. Are you asking me? The ones that I'm holding in front of you?
Oh.
Yeah, I have like three or four more. Yeah.
You got 3
This
plus
is-
the one that she took a drink out of.
This is going to be very handy. I suppose we should see how long this lasts, but this could give us a real in at the rattlesnake's coil.
Why are you so calm?
I mean, that's if they all look like him all the time. Like, maybe they all just have a party sometimes and decide to put his face on. Like, we don't know. We don't know how this is going to work out.
This train was on its way up there to Cheyenne. When I had passed by it, 2 days ago? 1 day ago? Entire
Time's a
car was filled
construct.
with Nathaniel Caldwell.
Seems like a good way for them to be recognized by other people, though.
Well, we have an option at this point.
How-
I'm not too concerned about the length. It obviously doesn't last forever.
No?
How on earth
No.
could you possibly know that?
Because when we came in busting iron on these lizard men, none of them looked like him.
How do you know that's not what she's gonna turn into next?
I had not thought about that.
No, because you don't think. Neither one of you is thinking this through. Now, all I'm doing is looking at my sister, who's no longer my sister, so if we can address that problem first, I will happily help you figure out when and where to drink that stupid-ass blood.
Ain't no fixing what's already been done.
I will slap him.
Is Hotake nearby?
He is dealing with the wounded right now. But
We'll add one to that list.
My pride.
And if he tries to talk again, I'm gonna slap him again. I just...
Now listen.
I don't care.
what
Right
in the
now.
world is going on here? Somebody explain to me what this gentleman is doing here.
All right, Mr. Wolf, you go ahead. You got so many theories about this.
Have you not seen this gentleman before?
I
Well,
No,
we've
I
had
haven't.
several run-ins with this here ugly mug. No offense, Max. In the past few days. Now, it seems as if she has sipped some kind of something and turned into this gentleman who went by the moniker Nathaniel Caldwell. Showed up in Good Springs.
I have to admit this is slightly exciting. I apologize, but there's so many things here that we're discovering that I have to record it all and send it back east.
I'm gonna slap
But
him
also-
too.
Ma'am, this is most uncalled for.
Shut up! Fix it, then you can do your little experiments.
I don't have the foggiest idea how to fix this.
I'm gonna turn
okay.
and just at all three of the men
Who's
who
she
are
gonna
sitting
slap
here talking
next?
about this. None of you are worth anything if you can't protect people who need it. And I'll sort of turn and get Mags around the shoulder, and I'll lead her away from everyone else.
The shoulder.
Yeah, like this.
Mags.
Pretty big normally, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Yes,
First off, you lose 1 point of sanity.
of course I do.
Yeah. And give me a con roll.
You got it. Ooh, that is that's what we call a rootin' tootin' new face wearing success.
All right. Well, you have avoided something, possibly, maybe, I don't know. How are you responding to Maybell losing a little bit of cool here and just hauling off and slapping a bunch of folks?
I'm proud of her
You're-
for it.
You're also
like
wearing a
it.
different face.
Yeah. I am gonna. I let her lead me away, but I am not acting like. I'm not unhappy with this potential visage. And I'm already like kind of murmuring under my breath to her, like, calm down, this could be useful.
How on earth am I supposed to calm down? Look at you!
We can use this to our advantage.
Mags, you're not you anymore.
I'm still me.
Can't look at your face knowing it's one of the men who stole Daddy's body? Who burned down the farm?
That was Jeb. Just
Could you just... How can I look at you? I understand it's useful, but... It just makes me want to cry. I can't... You were the last familiar face I had. And now I don't even have that.
I'm gonna try to like pull you into an embrace.
No. And I'll push her away a little bit. And just... I'm assuming we've stopped at this point. I'll kind of just continue to wander off in that direction on my own, and...
there's some explanations that go around. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna call after her and say, you know, I did burn down that farm too. Maybe I don't really know who I am anymore.
You're still my sister. I can handle a lot, Mags, but I can't handle you wearing the face of a monster. So you and those 3 geniuses can figure out how to fix it, but I can't. I can't be a part of this. Now keep on walking.
I let her go. I don't stop her.
Okay. So there's some explanations that go around now as the rest of the party kind of gathers around, and you get a few pokes and prods from Logan Boone as he's investigating, but overall everybody kind of gathers up, and the party begins to head back towards the hideout. It's you all left pretty early this morning, and it's been a long day. And you all gradually, you ride back. You still wear the face of Nathaniel Caldwell, as it takes about 3 or 4 hours to ride back at a sedate pace to get back to the hideout. And as you get close, everybody kind of see just a sigh of relief kind of washes through as the cave comes into view. And this is your first time seeing it, Ulrich, and it looks like it was an old mining camp of some sort. And the excavation site has been there's an actual no shit door over the front of this thing, and as everybody stops and goes about their chores and starts taking the gear off and dealing with the dead bodies and the wounded. And you go inside, and it's a nice hideout. There's rooms. It's been laid out. It still has that dankness of a mine shaft, which is what it is. But there's also a reading area. It looks like they've lived here for a while, and it's comfortable. It's mid to late afternoon as you get back. Mary and everybody's sort of somber. Now that the excitement has worn off, at least the crew is down. They've lost several members, and they've been together for a little while. So you all they begin to fix they have a routine that they go into, and they're all kind of moving mechanically, but they go in and make a meal, and everybody sits down and eats just in silence. And finally Logan stands up and he says, I suppose we should probably take care of the less pleasant tasks first. They've got Mr. Gray seems to be sort of out of it. It looks like he actually took a bullet to the head. There's some scarring built up around it, and it looks like maybe Hatoke was able to bring him back, but he's still woozy. And the gentleman, Mr. Kelly, who had clawed out his own eyes, he's laid down in a bed and sort of tucked up. It doesn't look Hatoke took care of him, but rather than actually getting his eyes back, it's just scar tissue now. It's no longer bleeding, but he's not going to see out of those eyes again. Everybody goes outside. You all are welcome to join or not, but they look like they're about to, do some digging.
I guess I'm gonna help dig. People that just didn't really know them, but they did die beside me, so I feel some responsibility.
I too will go outside and assist in the digging.
I'd like to as well if people don't react weirdly to me.
It's been about 4 or 5 hours. Everybody kind of, they might not be used to it, but they're accepting it.
I'm looking for a shower or bath.
Oddly enough, there's actually some. When you ask about it, they direct you up a small path that leads up the mountain a little ways, and there's a no shit hot spring bubbling up out of the rock here.
That's exactly what I need.
I will remind you that the gentleman that saved your life is dead, and they're burying him. Doesn't matter. I just throwing that out there.
Thanks for reminding me.
Um, so they with the help of whoever take turns and dig 3 graves. Buck and Boston Campbell, William Butler. They lay him down in the ground as the sun's going down, and it just seems you all have been here before. You know, what was it? 2 days, 3 days ago, as the sun was going down, you were throwing dirt on top of your daddy's grave as you stood by, Sheriff, and offered what comfort you could. It's been a very tumultuous couple days. Your entire lives have been upended from the relatively soft lifestyles that each of you had. You know, Sheriff, you were the sheriff of a small town. It's not like a whole lot happened. And you all ran a ranch. You were socialites. This has been just a little bit of introspection as they throw the dirt on, and Logan says a few words about their fallen comrades. Any thoughts flowing through your heads?
Yeah, I'll probably grab a drink and stand at the back, watch the sunset more than painting. I didn't know any of these guys, but still trying to be somewhat respectful.
Yeah. Ladies, anything coming to mind? Just, and it's
Where's-
perfectly fine if you just stand and watch.
Where is Tad right now?
You know, he's there. He helped dig them. He helped dig the graves, and he's a little somber. You know, he's not his usual explosive self.
I want to go stand with him.
How close you standing to him? Are you trying to make a move here? Kind
Like
of
a
thing.
Funeral?
No.
A funeral as somebody that she's not. I just, you know, I wanted to paint that visual if she were awkwardly trying to hold his hand as Nathaniel Caldwell or something like that. I just wanted to.
No, absolutely not. Just that he's the only, like, if my sister doesn't feel comfortable around me, he's like the only friend here. So I want to stand with him.
Yeah. Maybell is not like actively avoiding you guys, but she's not trying to be near you either.
Understandable. It's been a very long, arduous day. It's across the 3 or 4 hour trip, you know, you all had time to talk if you so chose, and Hatoke didn't have any advice to offer on the this is outside his realm of knowledge. Now the pouch that you found, Sheriff, if you show that to him, he would tell you he tells you to hold on to it, and he will find some time to discuss things with you in the near future.
Okay.
You all are shown where you can lay your bed rolls, and it's comfortable in the cave. They've got a fire going. If anybody else cares to, they show you where the hot springs are. Y'all can take turns sluicing the dirt off of your bodies, and
Yeah, I definitely want to take a bath.
This went from a funeral to
See
being
what's
like
under the hood.
I say this went from a funeral to being the anime episode where everybody gets in the hot spring.
They turn into girls.
Yeah.
Fuck.
splashing. I mean, it's a very thorough disguise. I'll say that, Mags.
No, tell us in detail. This is important. Don't.
Upon seeing Caldwell approaching the hot springs, I'm gonna look at Mags and say, "The fuck," and then get out.
I don't get to bathe too.
When you're looking like that,
You're not barring
Cold-hearted.
her way, are you? You're just leaving.
I'm just leaving. I'm drying myself off. She sees those bits. Now she sees mine. I'm out of here.
Bathe alone. It's really sad, but very interesting.
Yeah, learning things about yourself you never knew. The Boone gang seems pretty much just ready to crash for the night. They take care of the horses and unload the cargo and everything else, paying very close attention to making sure that the crate full of dynamite is stored safely. But other than that, they're all tucking in. Is there anything you all would like to do before bed?
Maybelle probably would not have gone back inside with everyone. After the funeral, she probably would have stayed outside and. Is it like dusk, or is it
Yeah.
after dark already?
The sun's set by this point. Yeah.
Okay. She'd probably
Other
just
than-
sort of stay out, like within eye shot of the entrance to the hideout, but she would have just laid out and watched the stars for a little while and just enjoyed the stillness and the naturalness of that.
I say, other than waiting my turn to wash off. It's a long day. Billy doesn't seem to want to talk, so I'm probably gonna head to bed.
Sometime in the night, you feel another itching sensation, Mags. Whether you wake up or not, I don't know. But when you do wake in the morning, you are back to your normal self.
Yeah. I don't say anything about it.
Maybelle, you see your sister. She's back to normal as everybody's going about cooking breakfast and making ready for the day.
Morning.
Morning. Nice to see you. You.
I'm glad that I'm what you think I am again.
Mags, that's not what I meant.
Isn't it?
No.
Do you know what it was like for the past however many hours to have all of you shun me because of something I couldn't control when I was still in here the whole time?
I imagine that was probably very lonely.
Was. Really was.
I never meant to leave you alone. I'll never leave you alone, Mags. Never.
Unless.
No, not unless. I'm sorry. It's hard. Looking at an enemy's face and knowing it's my sister in there. And I'm sorry.
Well, I'm sorry too. I know that it wasn't easy for you, but I just wish that I wish that any of you would listen to me in that moment instead of just take me at face value.
We in the room.
Where would you be having this conversation?
I figured it was wherever, like, we were all getting ready in the morning.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
probably not like
it's-
super publicly, I would think.
It's a cave though. I mean, voices are gonna echo. Things are gonna be heard.
Girls can whisper.
As they're having that conversation, everybody's getting ready. Gents, is there anything you want to talk about before we go on about our day?
No, not on my end.
Rex, you interested in heading on up this northern pass, or do you want to see what's happening in Cheyenne? Because I'll tell you something, in my time tracking men down, when it comes to those that are really making things happen, they're the ones at the meetings. They're the ones coming together. They're not the ones carting things around. Now, I understand Boone is all up about this artifact, relic, but I'm intrigued in stopping this where the snake's head rests.
Yeah, I understand you there. I mean, artifact's just an artifact, right? Until somebody does something with it.
Then it sounds we're in agreement.
Yeah, if I can shoot the bastard that's responsible for all this, I think I might sleep a little better at night. I guess my only reservation is, I don't really still rightly know what it is that we encountered yesterday.
Don't know if we'll ever truly know. But the fact is, it's now a part of our day-to-day. Not a fan of that.
No. But seems like bullets work as well as it does on anything else, so I guess guess we're good to go.
Well, we can thank the mighty for that one. I suppose we'd better check on the ladies, supposing they're both ladies at this point.
Gentlemen, I owe you both an apology.
I'm gonna pause for a second. I'm waiting for the apologies just to see what comes.
I lost my temper yesterday. I wasn't thinking about what had to be done in the future. I wasn't thinking about how we could disguise ourselves. I was thinking about my sister wearing the face of a murderer and how no one seemed to care about that but me. And I understand that I can be a bit short-sighted. And I can lash out a little bit. sense.
We were all under a lot of stress, and don't blame me for feeling it a little bit more than most, considering again the circumstances were no offense, Mags, but extra unsettling for your sister.
All the same. Mr. Wolf, I should not have struck you.
Save it. Been slapped over less deserving things and more deserving things. No offense taken on my part.
But it
And
was
no,
not ladylike, and that's...
I think if you're gonna be sticking around with us, you should stop thinking you need to be so ladylike.
about all
I've
I
been telling her
have.
that forever.
It's... Look, I can't weld things or shoot things. Not good
Ain't
for
about
much.
Ain't about how you present yourself, more of how you get things done. Now, you felt a certain way and you acted upon that. I see no harm in it.
Glad you can forgive me.
Also, to be fair, you did save us from exploding, if I recall.
Not on
So-
purpose, really.
Really, you saved quite a few lives yesterday.
Do you really think so?
I do. If you hadn't been there, I mean, just with the dynamite alone. Well, as I'm gonna kind of look around at the very few people left in the cave, we're already few enough in number, and you saved us from being fewer.
I don't know how true that is, but I appreciate the sentiment.
Well, I'm looking to rustle up some grub. Let's see what they got here. Oh, and Mags, about the old body swap yesterday, I hope you understand my reticence to stew with said body. It had nothing to do with you. You're a lovely gal.
What is he talking about?
I have no idea.
So they've put together a pretty good spread, some beans and bacon, and even got some biscuits going. And as you all sit and eat, Logan proposes resting for a few days. He feels like you all could need it. You all need it, could use it. His gang is ready to sit out a few days before heading on into Cheyenne, if that is where the plan still lies. So basically what we're going to do is kind of a training montage here. So as you all have a couple days, up to a week, to kind of rest and relax and get used to each other, and I'm going to have you pick 3 skills that you each want to improve on, and we'll do a small narration for how that kind of takes place, except for so yes, for Sheriff Rex, when the morning starts, Hatoke approaches you and he says, as you mentioned, you wanted to learn a little bit about my culture and the things that I do, and I would be happy to impart some of my knowledge onto you.
Yeah, I'm a blank slate. Let's get started.
So they're gonna go elsewhere.
And he's gonna ride me like a backpack, like Yoda.
Precisely. You guys are gonna go tromping through the woods for a little while. And I've thought of a couple different ways to do this, but what I'm gonna do is go ahead and give yourself a 20% in Cthulhu Mythos. And while Sheriff Rex is Jedi training, I'm gonna actually send him a few things in Messenger that he now has access to, or will, by the end of all this. The rest of you, let's start with. So there's basically, we're gonna say that this is a fully equipped sort of hideout. They've been here for a while. They've brought it up to speed. So if there's something that you want to investigate, look into, we can figure out how to make that work narratively. So if there's a point that you're feeling is lacking with your current skill set, or if there's something that you want to have an opportunity to get a little better at.
I would like to reflect my increased skill in explosives on this sheet, but I'm
Okay.
trying to figure out where that would live.
So I
have added explosives to my sheet.
That's what I was gonna say. I think we
Five in it,
added
yeah.
a little something there.
Yeah,
I
would like to. Make
Learn.
it better. I want to make it better.
Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna send this info to Mason real quick, so he can read that over while we're. My computer's being real weird now. So unless Mason unfriended me, and this is gonna be real awkward. Oh, there he goes.
Ooh.
Go on.
There you go.
Guys, Bard and Barbarian, they got all sorts of great stuff going on for their holiday sale. You should go check it out.
Oh yeah.
I've managed to almost send out all of the presents. We have, I think, like 3 left. Something like
Damn.
that.
I got my present, and also, can I say, I wore my t-shirt, and I got like a billion compliments, which is saying a lot because I only see 5 people in the time of the pandemic. But literally everyone was like, did you get really ripped? And I was like, no, it's the shirt. It's definitely the shirt.
Hold up.
So-
You sold me. You sold me immediately. It's the only shirt I'm gonna wear for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Highly recommend. I might buy more.
Okay. So you wake up or you get through breakfast, Mags, and Tad he's got that crate of dynamite that you all found, and he's disarming the striker and getting some sawdust and packing it in there nice so it's not going to blow up the cave or anything like that. And as you approach him, well, hey there, lass. You wanna learn a little bit more about the explosive contents here in this crate?
Absolutely.
What's your current explosion skill?
5.
5? Man.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll first. Man. Yeah. So roll explosion. See if you succeed.
No.
No, you did not. So you don't. Learning is from failure, right? Like, so he shows you a couple things. You start to set a piece of dynamite on fire, and he laughs and snuffs it out and says, "You just about killed all of us." So go ahead and roll roll your D10. Just.
That is a 7.
And add 7 points to your explosion skill. As you learn not to do the thing that you did that would have blown everyone up.
Yay!
Think about what else you'd like to work on, and if you just want to keep hammering explosives, that's perfectly all right too. Maybell, what would you like to work on?
Boy. You know, it's like you don't love me. Maybell would, after breakfast, she would probably go and find Miss Mary Boone.
Mm-hmm.
And just sort of very, very sheepishly, Miss Boone, we're going to be going out into the wilderness, and there seems to be just a lot of travel going on, and could you teach me how to ride a horse?
Oh, why certainly, dear. That absolutely, I would love to.
Do you think maybe I could borrow some pants? I tore my dress up really bad yesterday.
Yes, let's just see what we can do here. And she outfits you in some more appropriate garb for going out into the wilderness.
A new outfit.
Montage.
Makeover episode.
I was the only one who didn't bathe too, so I still smell just bad.
You know, she
Sexy.
hands you the pants and says, you know, you might want to go freshen up a little bit as you change, and directs you up to the hot spring there. And when you come back, she's got a couple of their horses pulled out, and she starts going through the basics. You know the basics. You've grown up around horses, but you know, she teaches you a few more things about how to approach a horse, and you know, how to put the saddle on, which is not something that you really had to do yourself, and how to properly do all the horse stuff that Justice doesn't know, but Mary Boone knows all about horses, and she teaches you all those horsey things.
She's a horse girl.
She's all about them horses, and she teaches you all the saddles and the bits and the girths and hooves.
Yeah.
So go ahead and roll me a not animal handling. Oh, it is animal handling. Yeah, roll me an animal handling. Now, well, question: Are you? I guess I should have clarified. Are you attempting to increase your ride skill or your animal handling?
Well, so here's the thing. I'm not using the Down Darker Trails Call of Cthulhu sheet. I'm just using the standard Call of Cthulhu sheet, so I don't have animal handling.
Everybody has 5% in animal handling.
Okay.
But...
I only have ride.
Okay.
But I guess if she's teaching me how to like do the tack and take care of the horse and approach it without it biting my face off, then that's probably more animal handling.
Well, I mean, we can narrate this however you want, whichever skill you want to work on. That's what we're going to do.
I'm trying to think of which one's going to be more useful. Let's go animal handling.
Okay. So everybody starts with 5% on that. So roll to see if you have a success, and then if not, roll a d10
Just a d10?
to improve. Yeah.
Boy, I'm still going to suck at horses.
Well, yeah, you working on it for like an hour. What do you think you're gonna get?
You know, better.
This isn't D&D. You don't just level up and learn all these spells all of a sudden.
Probably should. That's a 95, so that's going to be a failure for
Yeah.
for
Roll a
that
10
roll.
and see how much you improve there.
9.
9 points. Hey, you're up to 14 on
That
animal
still
handling.
sucks.
It's better than 5.
Barely.
And Mr. Wolf, what would you like to work on here?
Of course, I was unmuted and then chose to mute myself. So there is a couple of things Mr. Wolf does not like, and that is not being good at something. So having been wounded quite nearly fatally, medicine is certainly something he's going to be inquiring about.
Okay.
suddenly being introduced to this world of occultism is something he's going to inquire about. And to distract himself from everything that's happening, he's probably going to pop off a few rounds. So the three things I would like to increase are firearms, occult, and medicine.
Okay. And your occult is currently at 0, right?
5.
5. Everybody has 5. Yeah. Okay. So Sheriff Rex is kind of on this accelerated Jedi training course, so he kind of took Hatoke away. Is anybody else, Mags or Mabel, are you interested in occult stuff at all?
I'm
Yeah.
interested in explosives, and blowing stuff up.
All right. Beautiful. What was that, Mabel?
Yeah, I'm all about it. It's probably like I probably did the thing where I sheepishly pretended I wasn't all about it and just sat really close and leaned in a little.
Hey, don't do yourself a disservice, because I only want to know so that I'm not so taken aback every time I see a cart full of 15 of the same goddamn man.
So if you can stand to be in the same room with Mr. Boone, then he will teach you some of the things that he knows.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to fire off a few more rounds.
So maybe day one you go out and you just get some cans and some driftwood and you just take a couple shots here and there, really working on your aim, trying out a couple of the different guns that you picked up and the rifle and well, I guess you got to choose either handgun or rifle, but first roll to see if you succeed, and if you fail, then roll a d10 and improve your skill by that much.
I'm gonna choose. Damn, handguns are so good, but so are rifles. Okay, based on what I've seen of Sheriff Rex, he's always got pistols. So I'm gonna assume he's good with close-up encounters. So I'm gonna practice a little more with the rifle. It's something I haven't touched in a while.
Okay.
And so I have to get higher than what my skill
Yes.
is?
Yeah, you want to fail essentially.
Barely. I got 40 and my skill's 33. Right? That's how it works?
Sorry.
I rolled 40 and my skill's 33?
Yeah, yeah. I thought
Okay.
you said 43. I was like, so yeah. Now roll a d10 and you increase your skill by that much.
6.
And Mags, you can do this twice. Do that same process twice more for your explosives. As this week stretches out, Sheriff Rex, I'm gonna steal 2 of your things for the spells and whatnot. So you got 1 more that you can work on if you so choose.
How could I train spot hidden?
Hey, go
Look
hide
at
this for me.
stuff.
Start playing I Spy.
Well, I mean, narratively, that could be something that one of the Boone gang that is good at tracking, or even Hatoke is teaching you. You know, this might be an area that you're not used to, the rocky kind of plains area, and they teach you how to check the small details of the way a path is made or a branch is broken, things of that nature.
I'm
So
gonna try for that. I rolled a bunch of 90s, but now I'm sure I'm gonna roll like
now you're gonna roll a 1.
Yeah. Nope.
It didn't. You succeeded.
Yep. Handily.
Good job.
Thank you.
You said Ulrich. You said occult, shooty things, and what was the third one?
Medicine. I don't want to be left bleeding in a gutter.
Okay.
Not again.
That's- Yeah. When Sheriff Rex is out learning how to track and look for things, but he already knew everything they were trying to teach him anyway, so it was like,
Idiots.
waste of my time. You have a little bit of sit down with Hatoke, and he teaches you or attempts to teach you a little bit about medicine. So go ahead and give that a roll. And Maybell, what were the other 2 that you wanted to? One was occult, and what was the third one?
80.
So you tell me what this would actually be. So Maybelle's not a fighty girl. It's not really her jam, but she does feel like she needs to know how to defend herself.
Okay.
So brawl, maybe.
Brawl is fighting with a weapon, so like a knife or anything like that. What does she want to know? Does she want to learn how to shoot? Because I'm sure Sheriff Rex would love to teach you a little bit about shooting handguns. As the sun's going down, shooting some animal skulls, something like
I can learn that
You'll do,
anytime.
like,
Hand is
The
trembling.
cheesy thing with the golf, like with the golf swing, where I'm like, no, you want to hold the gun like this.
And then I accidentally shoot myself in the foot. Yes, but also like not with the express purpose of fighting anyone. Maybe just so that I know how to use it. Yeah, that sounds right. I just talked myself through that. So yes.
shooty handguns.
Shooty handguns.
Okay. So everybody has a 20% starting off in that, so you can roll to see if you succeed, and then roll to see how much better it gets.
I rolled a 1. So yes, I did.
You succeeded.
Yeah.
You know everything. Yeah, Sheriff Rex is like trying to show you how to shoot a gun, and
He doesn't
he's
even
going
know
over
how
the
to use a
basics.
gun.
And
What is he showing me? No, I don't want to look down the barrel. Stop it.
maybe y'all spend a little more time canoodling and less
No,
learning.
we don't. I'm a proper young lady.
No canoodling. Okay. No
That
canoodling by the
sucks.
firelight.
I'm never gonna do that again. I'm never gonna roll a 1, ever again. Just putting that out.
So for the two of you on occult, the intrepid Logan Boone pulls out a couple books on the Royal Academy for the Preservation of the Natural Order, and he tells you a little bit about the order and the things that they've fought in the past, and just gives you a general overview of that. And I have a very good puppy that just went to the door and whimpered, so I feel like that is a good sign. I'm going to take a quick break. If you all either want to go to a break screen, or if you want to talk amongst yourselves about things, I'm going to take her out, because this is a good behavior that I want to reinforce.
Lima Bean.
Miss
Say bye,
Lima.
everybody.
Okay.
Potty.
Break.
Break time.
Break.
Yeah.
Break.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay. Bye. We'll be right back. You guys are still muted. Joke's on you. There you go.
Oh,
Lol.
she did the right thing and went pee outside, and then she decided that she didn't want to poop in the snow, so she came inside and did it in the house.
In front of
Good
the
call.
Christmas tree, like a present.
It's
Smart
a
dog.
gift.
It's not
It's
a
a
gift.
Christmas. It's a gift that keeps on giving. Anyway, we're back. I believe we were delving into the Mythulus
No, you keep going. You nailed it.
the Mythulus
Mythulus
Institute.
Kythos?
Yeah, the Kythos of Mythulus. Wow. We're delving into it. So Logan Boone pulls out some. He shows you some of the information on the Royal Academy for the Preservation of the National Order. So he talks a little bit about what your dad was into, and so you do learn a little bit about that. So both of you go ahead and see if you get Mythuluized.
That was easy.
Why I did it again, and that wasn't even on purpose. Cthulhu mythos.
Stop talking.
Mythulust.
I learned something about Mythulu.
That'd be a funny bar scene in a Call of Cthulhu game.
I'll teach you all about Mythulu.
Sorry.
Funny enough, in that
Sorry.
universe, that's probably the guy that knows it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Has everybody done some training here? Improved some skills? Did you? How
Something like
good
that,
are you
yeah.
at explosives now?
Well, so I had a question. Before, I rolled and failed, and then I rolled a d10 and added those points.
Mhm.
So when I roll and succeed, what happens?
Nothing. Everything that you taught is just kind of, I didn't learn anything new.
I see. Okay. So I succeeded and then got confused and stopped. So we're gonna try again.
And Ulrich, your first aid, right? You wanted to improve that
Yes.
one.
Yes.
Go ahead and give it a roll. Give it a shot.
Oh, that's
Everybody
not a
feel
success.
Sufficiently montaged.
Yes.
I'm really disappointed.
Hold up. I matched it.
Sure. That's a fail.
Sure, that's fail. Okay, good. I failed.
Okay, go ahead, Diana. I'm sorry. I almost said Mayanna. What's happening to us?
Mythulu.
the
Damn you,
less sanity
Mythulu.
you have, the more words start with M in your vocabulary. No, I'm just super disappointed that I learned shit from Sheriff Dallas Rex.
You know what? You guys got a long trails ahead of you, so you got.
I want to believe that it's because he wouldn't teach me for some reason. That like I was like, come on, just I want to learn how to use it.
Oh,
That doesn't
he was
sound like I
teaching
think
with the old stick shift.
He
feel
spends
like-
like 40 minutes talking about gun safety, and then he's like, okay, we're done for the night.
Well, yeah. Now, if you want to learn about guns, we're gonna have to start with the old ball and like start loading up an old musket with front loader.
I
All
don't
the
You
way
got to
back
start with the basics.
I don't feel like that's the modernized weapon. Shouldn't we be using a little 6-shooter? I can barely hold that thing. No one giggle at
I'm
that.
I made a face.
No, I was also giggling at the fact that I saw myself on the stream doing this motion.
Yep, I saw that too. I was like, without sound.
I was just like, oh boy.
That's
it. That's all. Let's leave that scene
Boy, howdy.
immediately.
We're gonna move on from here. So, after about 5-6 days, you all have had some comings and goings, and everybody has learned a little bit about themselves and the world around them.
And
And
explosives.
And explosives, lots of explosives. You know, you all hear some like, you all come together at night, and everybody sits around the fire and tells stories, and you all talk, and you do all learn a little bit more about the Royal Academy for the Preservation of the National Order, um, and you wake up the next day, you all have breakfast together, and everybody kind of goes their own way. But each day, you see Tad and Mags kind of go off by themselves, and then you hear like explosions off and on throughout the day, and then you hear some crazy laughter, and then some more explosions, and they both come back at the end of each day with like gunpowder on their face and maybe a little hair singed off, and just kind of giggling to each other, and some inside jokes going on about dynamite blowing up and whatnot. The other side of this valley is never going to be the same. You all have changed the topography of the very land on which you reside. But you learned something, and that's what's really important. So the week is coming to an end, and you all have been discussing your plans for moving forward. Ulrich and Sheriff Rex, are you all going to make a move to push to go to Cheyenne instead of going the northern route?
Absolutely. I don't think I should waste my time looking for a train that's on its way to a city that I could be at to prevent said meeting. Right?
So
Yeah.
this
I'm just
argument
backing you
comes up
here.
Yeah, the argument comes up several times throughout the week, and originally Logan had said, given you the choice essentially, which direction you wanted to go, and now it seems like he's kind of standing his ground on this, the him going to Cheyenne, and generally the excuses come down to you. I don't believe that you all are equipped to handle the threats that you could face in Cheyenne.
I don't feel like you were equipped to handle the threats that we faced on the fake train.
Your argument has merit, and that's kind of where it goes. It goes back and forth each night. So you come up on the 6th night, and Hatoka disappeared that morning, and he came back later that afternoon with leading a buffalo. Who knows where he found it or how he managed to lasso it and bring it into camp, and why it's so docile. Every single one of you have had running, like, at least the knowledge to stay away from buffalo. They're big and they're ornery, and they will jack some shit up if they're given the opportunity. But this one is led calmly into camp, and he ties it up outside of the camp and just leaves it there. And for the rest of the afternoon, he proceeds to pull things out of his pack, and he starts to erect a lodge of some sort. And you all are going about your daily. You all have picked up some camp chores, and you're doing the things. He, as the sun starts to go down, he comes to each of you individual, and he says, there's a ceremony of my people that I want to bring you all in on. I think it will be important in the days to come. And he invites you into this sweat lodge kind of thing that he's created.
Yeah,
Okay. I mean,
let's do it.
yeah, why not?
Yeah, sure. Why not? We'll go to the.
I mean,
tent with the creepy old-
he's a master Hatoke.
Yeah.
I do what he says right now.
Yeah, I'll follow him.
Maybell, you jumping on this train?
Yes. I will park myself as close to Mags and the good sheriff as I possibly can.
So first he builds a fire, and it gets very hot in there, very hot. And he starts throwing, first he throws some herbs onto there, and they smoke, and you all sort of cough just a little bit and your eyes burn, but then you start to feel like you're just drifting. You kind of feel like you're floating in your own bodies as you're standing in there, and the smoke is swirling around you, and he starts to chant. It's this undulating up and down, and then he takes a spoonful of water and throws it on the rocks in the fire, and the steam billows up, and it gets hot, and you all can feel the sweat dripping down your bodies, down your backs, down your foreheads. And you feel the sweat dripping into your eyes, but your hands feel so heavy. You can't even lift them to wipe away the sweat on your brow, and it just runs down your face. And as the chanting continues, you all feel this rhythmic flowing, and you sort of start this waving back and forth, and you're following his motions. He throws more herbs, and then water, and then herbs and water, and slowly your vision starts to fade, and everything is just swirling steam and smoke. And out of the smoke and the steam, visions start to appear to each one of you. At first it's flashes, just more an instinct or a sense than something actually seen or felt. And as the chanting continues, high and low, it becomes, they coalesce more and more into these more stark, sharper visions, and you start to see yourselves. So each one of you is seeing yourself in a different location. You see the past. You see yourselves all the way back to childhood, and you see yourselves growing up, and those impactful moments that led to who you are. That time that you fell and hurt yourself, you skinned your knee for the first time, that comes back with sharp clarity. That first time that you remember feeling pain. That first time you remember feeling alone or scared, and you get those sharp visions, and they fade. Each one of those, you get that rush of adrenaline as you remember that pain or that loneliness, that image, and then you feel like you're sort of enveloped in a warm hug, and that memory sort of fades away into something less traumatic and more peaceful. And this continues through your life up to the recent events. And Mags and Maybell, you see your father with his decapitated body laying there, and you remember the terror that you felt with that, and you feel yourself starting to relive that moment, and then it sort of fades away just a little bit, and you feel that warm enveloping once again. And Sheriff Rex and Ulrich, you remember the same thing from a different point of view. You remember seeing this headless body and thinking, oh God, what do we do about this now? And that fear and adrenaline that comes with a mystery, and something happened in your town that you have to take care of, and that anxiety that comes with it, and it fades away. And Ulrich, you remember the train car full of the same blank faces and the mind-numbing terror. And all of you remember that shadow outside the cave, and this is all happening rapid succession. All the horrors of the last 3 or 4 days have revisited on you, and every time that your body starts to react in that same terrified flight instinct, that warmth comes back in, and it envelops you, and those memories are just, you remember them, but they don't have that same sharp terror that came with them. And it's like somebody is taking, it's like when you were sick as a kid and your mom put her hand on your warm forehead, and that cool touch just took away all the pain in the world. And that's every single one of these memories. It's coming back. And then there's sort of a shudder, and you come back to your bodies just a little bit, and you hear the chanting change pitch, and it sort of accelerates, and a new rush of images come at you, things you haven't seen, things you haven't experienced, and they're coming at you from different sides. And intellectually, each one of you knows that this, you don't know how, but this seems like images of a future or a potential future. And you see a city wreathed in flames with screams breaking the night. And you see your friends lying dead at your feet. And your family. You see terrible images of wooden buildings burning to the ground with a fire so hot that you feel your skin blister just by being close to it. You see innocent citizens lying dead in the street, shot down. And then each one of you sees you all see the same thing. When you speak later, you all very, very distinctly remember a gigantic serpent rising from the embers of this city, as it grows larger and larger, and it lunges at each one of you. Like you see this snake coming at you, and when you do, it snaps, and you're in a different place, and you hear birds or something chittering. Sounds like no bird you've ever heard before, and there's a thick, lush vegetation all around you. And you see a river winding its way through the greenery. And more flashes come of people talking, people you don't recognize, people that their features seem almost melted, like they were people, and they were made of wax and held too close to a flame, and they sort of fell in amongst themselves. And at the end of it, each one of you sees a glowing bright light. That's the last thing that you remember. It's like the sun reflecting off of a water surface or off of a piece of gold as you hold it in your hand. And with that, suddenly there's a cold wind that rips through the tent. And you all come to your senses, and Hatoke is standing there. He's stopped chanting, and he's held open the flap, and the outside air is rushing in, and the flames have gone out in the fire. And he looks at each one of you in turn, stares right into your eyes, and he says, "Now, do you know the way ahead?" And each one of you gain back 1d10 sanity. This can't exceed your original.
Dang, only 3.
That's better than none.
It is better than none. From what I remember of math, which isn't much. Did we all see the same thing?
What each one saw will be unique and similar. You all have a shared trauma and a shared future. And this is what you saw.
I'm just gonna kind of stand up, take a big breath, and probably walk out and try and even though I'm feeling like a little more sane, I'm still a little unsettled by by everything that happened. So I'm just gonna go ahead and step out the tent before I inhale any more fun smoke.
Miss Maybell, roll a d10 and regain that much sanity.
5.
He escorts you each outside and encourages you to breathe the fresh air, and tells you visions that you saw were potential only. You know, the future is not written in stone, but it is fluid like a flowing river, and it bends its way around rock and log to an in destination, but each path is different as it continues its way. And then he's he's going to walk away and leave you all to your own devices for the evening. It's late, but
Well, don't know what that was, but I think I've had enough fun for one evening.
Does anyone feel like they know what we're supposed to do next?
I'm just gonna kind of pat my guns. Yeah, I got a good idea. Think if we kill him before, we can kill him again.
What herbs is it that you're using in this, Hitoke?
oh, he's gone. He walked
left.
away.
Do I know from him teaching me at all?
You know what he taught you? He taught you the basics of the very scratching the surface of the spells that you can
Yeah.
you now know, and he taught you what herbs to gather to be able to perform those spells.
Gotcha.
He described it as really good shit.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
This the good shit, man.
I think I'd like to lay down.
Yeah, my head's spinning. I think this day's over for me.
Some rest could definitely do us good.
I don't know about you all, but I think I could do with some time away from people. I can't
Yeah.
say I wouldn't mind just getting away for a time.
Yeah.
It would be nice.
Yeah.
Were the world not supposedly coming to an end? Can't say I've traveled with many folk besides you. Oh,
Sure we can spare at least a couple hours.
Look at it this way. It's far less likely the Boone's going to double cross you if you two aren't together.
Yep.
We'll all end up in the same place.
Yeah. Hopefully of natural causes.
I didn't mean like that. Why are you being so morbid?
Just when you I don't know if I'm regretting or not learning what I have. There's a lot more out there.
Let's get some rest. Daddy always said a good night's sleep could make anything seem right.
Wise man. I'm gonna head to bed. Well,
agreed.
Definitely a little woozy. You feel a little bit like maybe you had too much to drink. A feeling you're all familiar with. And when you wake the next morning, it's much later than you're used to. and you don't hear anybody. And when you go out, you find a handwritten note from Hitoke, along with a full everything you would need. You have 5 or 4 fully packed packs. Mags, you find a special leather roll, and when you open it up, there's it's not a message so much as just a crudely drawn picture of something blowing up, and it's 10 sticks of dynamite laid out like pretty little candles in a leather case for you. Everybody's gone, and Hitoke, on the note, he says, "I've taught you all I can. The way is yours to move ahead." And that's it. Outside there are 5 horses, and the Gatling gun is attached to one of them. It's loaded up in a hamper that is not like mounted on it.
Robo
hoping for.
horse.
That's what I was hoping for.
It's dismantled into its hampers if in on the pack horse there.
Well, seems we got our path. While they check out this train, we got a date in Cheyenne.
Nice of them to say goodbye. Suppose we should be used to it, though.
I seek to end this, so let's get it done hastily. I'm gonna unhitch one of the horses.
Well, hold on. If we shouldn't just go rushing off if we think it's the end of the world. Don't you think that warrants just a little bit more consideration as far as how we should handle what's next?
Shoot the bastard in the head. What else is there to consider?
Which bastard are you referring to?
I don't care. I'll
I've
clear up the whole
encountered quite a
goddamn
few in
tavern
the
if I
past
need
week.
to. God damn it.
Ulrich,
you're right.
There's a lot more going on than what we're used to and what we want there to be. What did you have in mind, Billy?
Well, the way I look at it, we've got 2 options in front of us. We can go straight to Cheyenne, straight into the rat's nest, and hope that we don't stumble across a deadly situation. Or we could utilize the element of surprise and head up to the Northern Pass. They aren't expecting us to find them when they're on the way. We could still recover the artifact and end this whole thing before it starts. And it's likely that there won't be nearly as many as there would be at the hotel. I mean, Mags, I'm not crazy, am I?
Not one bit. Only crazy in the right ways.
I know that you two are well versed in this kind of dangerous lifestyle, but it's not really Mags and my forte. We're sinkers, and that's it.
Mason?
Where do we know where the other guys went?
The last you heard, they were headed to Cheyenne to scope it out. So
okay.
that's the best guess you have. That was Logan was dead set on it. But he was open to the argument that you all should switch, but it
But he's
appears
not
that
here.
correct. It appears that Hitoke has made a decision.
Is there
for
any
everyone.
indication from what has been left here, or where they, if we can see where they went, or like, is there any way we can tell which way they chose to go?
Yeah. their trail definitely leads west, which would be towards the railroad, which would lead towards Cheyenne.
Like the direct route, right?
Correct.
Not the.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whereas if they were intending to head to the northern, whatever I called it, hold please,
It was the Northern Line or something?
northern line. If they were headed to the northern line, they would have departed. Because of the geography, they would have had to gone east and then north.
There's only 4 of us. We'll make good time of it.
I think it's a brilliant plan.
Considering the rest of the gang is heading on up to Cheyenne, and considering they're running with said train we done met back up at, I would say Boone probably doesn't have the best intuition on these things, and as much as I'd like to shoot anybody in the face for so looking at me wrong, perhaps there is a better outlook.
You're a bounty hunter. Right. You claim to be.
Now bring in wrong men.
If you were hiding out in a hotel in Cheyenne, seedy pit of villainy, would you take more notice if a whole caravan of people showed up, some wounded, one of them as well known as Boone? Or would you pay attention to 4 travelers who are just making their way west, trying to find a new place to settle down? Why, young families, young couples move west all the time looking for new opportunity. We could go unnoticed.
Surely if we were just passing the sights, but wouldn't we like to claim said relic, stop said train?
Yes, but I think 4 individuals of no notoriety or no fame whatsoever have a better chance of doing that than Boone and his whole gang. And wouldn't you like to show him up? You're better than him, after all.
I ain't led people before, but I can tell he ain't no master in the subject.
Well, here's your opportunity. I'm asking you, because I don't know how to get there. Sheriff? I mean, the 2 of you can get us through anything.
That anything requires lead.
Yeah. I think that Belly, perhaps you have a clearer viewpoint on this than I do. I admit, I would love to charge in guns blazing. Things are easier that way. Things are clearer. But we don't know where the head of the snake lies, Ulrich. It could be anywhere. I mean, seems awfully convenient if we're talking about things for them to leave a note leading us in one particular direction. It could have been another decoy. So if we approach with caution, then at least we got a chance of coming out alive.
There's only one thing I can refer to in regards to this. You know, I was once tracking a man out east. He had left a message with one of the people he had robbed, stating he was heading to one place, Codswallop, in my opinion. Turned out he was actually heading in an opposite direction. Thought he was slick, but he paid off a boy to keep his word as he stole a horse from one of the local men. Suppose you're right. Suppose your answer isn't something I can just point an iron sight at and pull the trigger. My hastiness, I will admit, will make me short-sighted. A train job? Fine. Say we catch up to a train just like the one we saw down them tracks. Just as armed, just as ready for battle. What do we got?
Got a few pills to make us blend in.
Got a lot of brain power on our side.
And we got a Gatling gun, so...
And explosives. Don't forget about the explosives.
We got ourselves a regular heist now, don't we?
Maybe not in the traditional sense, but I think that'll work in our favor here.
Make it loud, make it proud. Fine. If Boone and his ilk see themselves in Cheyenne, I'm not going to stand against y'all. Perhaps the Northern Pass has got some more answers for us.
Ha! We got ourselves a plan.
We got ourselves a direction. Plan comes with what you caught in that sack there, little miss. You ready to blow some shit up?
Just say the word.
You all depart. As you're going through the provisions that were left for you, you each find a very distinctive package. You know.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like,
Oh, those are some tight pants.
First, as you leave, you notice the buffalo, or the bison that was brought into camp is no longer there, but there is a very distinctive patch of blood, as well as a circle laid out that looks sort of like it was done in a ritual. Mags, you find one of your hammers wrapped in a really soft buckskin and put at the bottom of your pack. Ulrich, you find 6 bullets that fit the rifle, also wrapped in a soft buckskin. Sheriff Rex, you find 6 bullets that fit your trusty leg iron, wrapped in buckskin. And Maybell, you find that strange white opalescent gem thing with about 4 or 5 inches with that longer piece sticking off of it, wrapped up in buckskin and put in your pack.
Is it to cleanse my aura?
Yes, yeah.
When
Burn some
Mercury
sage
is
and
in
cleanse your aura.
retrograde?
Yep. You all head east and north along the path, and eventually you find the river that would first lead you on this northern route, and you begin the several-day trek from one passage to the next, following along. And on the morning of the 3rd day, you come across a wreckage. It's strange. You actually see a couple bodies floating in the water as they continue wending their way down, and you see some wooden spars floating through the water as if a boat has wrecked or something. And as you continue on, the river goes into a valley, and the vegetation starts a abrupt shift. The leaves get bigger, the forest gets closer together. As before, you were on a sagebrush plain, and as this came down into this valley, green just started popping out of nowhere, and the river wends its way into this valley, and you follow it, and the valley opens up, and it's spread out before you, and there's a waterfall coming. The river just comes off, and down at the bottom you can see what looks like the wreckage of a boat at the bottom of this waterfall that seems like it's completely out of place in this beautiful lush valley. And as you're standing there all kind of awestruck by this vision that has no business being in, I guess you're in Colorado or Utah or Wyoming at this point, you hear a bone rattling roar that echoes across the valley. Your bones almost turn to jelly as you're standing there, and out of the trees at the bottom steps this creature on 2 legs with reptilian skin that stands about 20 feet tall. Its head is the size of a Conestoga wagon, and its teeth are as long as your arm, and it roars its defiance to the sky. And that's where we're going to end for the night.
No, can we
Godzilla.
go back to the pretty stuff? And that's where we end.
Welcome to the Valley of the Lost.
We're all still tripping. We're all still tripping balls. It's fine, guys. It's fine.
It looks friendly to me. I don't know what everybody's worried about.
Heist a train, they said. It'll be fun, they said.
You get
Fucking
to shoot
T-Rexes.
something. I don't know what you're complaining about.
I do get to shoot
This
something.
is what
you're
you
right.
wanted.
Yeah,
You're right.
You
might,
asked
taming
for
that thing.
this.
you might run into a dinosaur.
Sorry, I don't see Gatling gun on my skills.
No, it's a Gatling pony.
It's on. Yes, it's on the horse. It's not.
My
on the-
animal handling will come in handy.
You gotta stand on the back.
Oh God, I love that mental image though. Yeah,
It's pretty good.
That's gonna happen.
Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you for being patient as we went a little long. The next time we are scheduled for a session is going to be New Year's Eve, so we are not going to be doing this game. So this will be the last one of the year.
Oh my goodness.
I know. We will pick it back up. All parties involved being okay with it on January 14th. That sticks with our regular schedule. We will talk about that and post it where it is available. But thank you all so much for going on this ride with us. I wanted to get to this little cusp of the next adventure so that we had a good jumping off point for the next session. But like I said, thank you all so much for sticking with us, and thank you, cast. You guys do an amazing job every single time. You make it enjoyable to run this game, and I look forward to it every time. And on outros, let's go in reverse order. Mr. Ulrich Wolf, who are you? Where can folks find you? And do you have anything cool coming up through the holiday season? I know you were talking about some one-shots.
Yes, so Ulrich Wolf, Lord Fantasy, IE on all the platforms. Me in chat. There you go. Yeah, you can check me out. Tuesday campaigns are no longer a thing. I've been playing some Cyberpunk. However, one-shots, yes. Lots of different genres in campaign settings. Resident Evil, Old West, kind of like this one. Things like that nature coming in the new year. So that'd be a January thing. But yeah, I mean, I do art, I do gameplays. If you want to check me out, I love horror and macabre things. So if you enjoy that, head on over there.
And Miss Emily.
Hi, everyone. I am not muted, and I am Emily, also known as Justice and Diana's special friend.
People are gonna talk.
Let them
I
talk.
know. Let them,
Twizzler.
let them talk.
I'm already talking.
That's all we do.
No one said it last time, right? When I wasn't here.
No.
No one claimed the title?
I don't remember if Mason usurped it or not.
He,
I know he was thinking
like
it.
he was considering it really hard, but I don't think he did.
I would have never said the exact same thing because that's just lazy.
That's fair. Lazy joke
Well.
writing.
Title is still mine. And you can find me on social media stuff at Emily the Spoon everywhere.
You got any exciting professional stuff coming up? Does Roll20 have any big things that they're pushing this holiday season?
We really do. We're gearing up for some really exciting announcements for next year, for early 2021. Nothing I can say yet, but hopefully when we're meeting next, I'll have a lot of cool things to share. So
Fun. And Mason.
Yeah, everybody. Mason Dula. You can find me here on the Twitch. Yeah, forget about Diana.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Fuck you too.
No, we just want to save the best for last, Diana.
Yeah,
Okay? So
exactly.
would you let me get on with my crappy outro? You can find me here on Twitch at WizardRex TV, as well as on the socials, usually WizardRex or WizardRex TV, and also Mason Dula. But you're not worried about that because you're worried about what Diana has to say. So Diana, why don't you close out the stream?
No, I'm not gonna do it.
No, what do you have any fun end of the year stuff, Mason? On your channel?
I do. I haven't actually announced it, but we are planning to do a little charity game on the 26th, so the day after Christmas. It'll be a fun little thing. I don't want to say too much about it yet because I don't know who all's going to be in it, but yeah, that's the most exciting thing. And then we have tomorrow, obviously, the last
Obviously, yeah.
the Rocky
yeah.
Times.
Yeah. And Diana, who are you? Where can people find you, and what you got going on?
Yeah, so I'm still Diana. I am the affiliate and product manager over at Die Hard Dice, so I'm always working on stuff over there. We do have Wraith tomorrow, our last episode. I'm really sad it's ending, but I'm super psyched to see what happens. On Saturday, I'll be playing in a charity game benefiting the runoff elections in Georgia and going blue. So you can find the details on that on my Twitter, which has a couple of giveaways going on right now. Because I hit a few. It looks like I hit a lot of milestones today. I like
give away my actual
Absentee ballot. Vote.
Go vote. Do it.
Vote.
Do it. Vote. And I think that's it right now. I think we just wrapped up Denver by Night, so that season's over. And
yeah. And I am. I've been your story keeper. Wait. Keeper, storyteller, keeper
Both.
on this one. Yeah. Through this episode, I really appreciate you all tuning in. I love this show. I love this cast. They make it so easy to do what we're doing here. And you can find me on the socials as Stashmandu. I'm just dipping my toe into this weird world of Twitter. I need a haircut. But most importantly, the most important thing that we can say this evening is, besides get out the vote and go vote in Georgia, is tune in tomorrow to Q Times, because Emily and I play a couple of creepy little kids who are just terrible, and Mason is a tech mogul that might or might not be Tony Stark, and Diana is a ragey pilgrim lady, and Emily and I just jumped through a portal to the Ghost Titanic. I'm not entirely sure that B-Dave was expecting that.
I don't think he expected anything in the last session. Let's be honest here.
Justice is fairly certain that in our past life, Emily killed me, and I'm not entirely sure how that's going to reveal itself. Because Mason is my shadow, and he's real good at it, and he's almost got this 12-year-old, 100-year-old, 12-year-old, 100-year-old, 12-year-old to blast people with obliterating ghost rays. So tomorrow's the finale. I don't have any fucking clue what's gonna happen, but I'm really
finale already.
It's only 4 episodes. It's only 4 episodes.
We're gonna raid
I gotta
BB
show
now.
up for the next one. Huh?
We're gonna raid BB. Everybody freak out.
Okay.
We love you
all.
all.
We're gonna get out of here.
Good
Love
night.
you guys.
You're
Thank
cutting
you
us
so
off?
much for swinging by. Yep,
It's not even midnight yet.
I had to. It was already going. Like we were already